Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Coming to you live from the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon for August 8th, 2020, with your host, speedrun2448, and Rampant Epsilon.
Hi.
We have an interesting batch of things this week.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about Marvel?
I feel like that and Halo are going to be what we talk about the most this week.
Probably. So yeah, it's a lot of that, and not so much on the State of Play, which is the only big event this week, or this past couple weeks. But before any of that, Tommy, what have you been playing?
Well, I've done parts of 2 different KH2 randos.
How's those go?
The first seed I managed to find a way to soft lock myself.
How?
There's apparently certain spots that you're not supposed to save, and I found one. I'm like, oh.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's no way to get back out if you load that save, and it's like, oh, oops. Oops. I've noticed that movement tech comes really easily.
Uh-huh.
The problem is the fact that a lot of the abilities you take for granted in the run doesn't. And it's like, ooh, okay. Because Reflect wasn't too bad, but it was pretty decent way into both seeds. Like Guard, I didn't even find in the first one, and I did the second pass through like half of the worlds even, and the first pass on all of them, and it's like, oh, this one's buried. Good to know. The second one, I think I did wind up getting it relatively early, so that one might just be kind of a shot in the dark kind of deal.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, I'm fine with that. Because I think the second one was second trip in Hollow Bastion, so, I mean, that wasn't too bad. But yeah, it's actually quite fun when you crank the experience all the way to max. Because then there comes a certain point where you're just two-shotting everything, and it's like, ah, cool. I'm actually fine with this.
Makes sense.
I also, in the first seed, managed to get my revenge on Roxas. Third try.
Oh, you just obliterated him, I assume.
I think it helps knowing how that fight kind of goes down.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's kind of been it, really. I mean, I think I played around with no clip mode in Portal 2 just to play around with it, and I think that's actually about it.
My primary thing I've been playing is Fall Guys. I was trying to get back to Persona 5 Royal, but I never got around to it. Because I'm on the cusp of the new stuff, and I just need to get through the last dungeon, but I just haven't sat down and done it. The Fall Guys I like, outside of, again, with Ninjala, is the fucking fix your netcode, goddammit. Please.
Yeah, I noticed that on one of them. It just said, oh, you're not connected.
Yeah. Like that, the latency on grabs, because you can get grabbed from halfway across the map for no reason. I still don't get what's going on the tiptoe map that causes me to just go spiraling out of control half the time on that map.
It almost looked to me like a weird ground collision thing.
Yeah.
It almost looked like it was a case of you were falling off of platforms that were just ever so slightly lower.
Mm-hmm.
That might just be they might have whooped something on the map. Instead of putting collision solid blocks, they actually mapped it out to what the blocks look like.
Yeah. But yeah, I like it. And hell, it's like Battle Pass is only like 40 levels.
I saw when
it's
you
not
were
100
looking at it. That's honestly pretty decent. I mean, it looks like they're dealing with 2-month seasons, so I think that would be doable.
Yeah. And even then, I put in like I pull up Steam real quick. It's only been like probably like 3 hours of gameplay, and I'm at 10 levels. No, 4 hours for 10 levels. So depending on like your EXP curve, like that's not too bad, I would think.
And I'd say it'd be less if you actually win too.
Yeah, I still haven't won. I could have won one because there's a final game mode that is grab the tails. There's one person with a tail and you have to just pretty much grab it. That sucks to hear, Charizard. But I had the tail in the last like 10 seconds or so, but I went up this conveyor belt that's coming down at you, which is a terrible decision, and I lost it, and I lost the match. That's the closest I've came to winning. But I do like how, I guess, intuitive it is and easy it is. Like, I was watching Ty and Spite play earlier today, and they were talking about how they wanted this to be like cranked up hard. Like, this game should kick your ass. like the things that inspire it. And I'm like, I would be okay for that if it was like a ranked mode, or if it was like a different. You can go ahead and say. We'll comment as whatever it comes up. Lost my train of thought. As long as it's a separate queue, I'm okay with it, because I don't want that to be this game all the time. I have enough of that in Fortnite.
I agree with what you're saying there. It should be like a ranked mode concept. I
like
let ranked be you're either really good at this game or you're not kind of deal.
Yeah.
Which is what I kind of feel ranked modes should be.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's Fortnite 90% of its game modes.
Yeah.
Because like Team Rumbles, unfortunately, has been like so neutered because it's not getting. Oh no! Oh, that. That really sucks to hear. Damn. Sorry about that. But yeah, I just. Like, I know it's asking for a lot of things from Fall Guys at the moment because of it just came out, but I guess it's part of the feedback process since they are getting a lot of sales on this. I'm just like, hey, do this. Here's some ideas for how to develop this game further. Because I know the memory game is pretty much like you can just fall asleep during that, more or less.
Yeah, I feel like that one they need to cut the timer down just in casual, because it feels like it's too long.
Well, I think if you like somehow mixed it up to where, I don't know, it feels like it needs another something else to it. Like the I know I didn't get to it when I was playing, but there's one that has these different rings that you're standing on that are spinning. And they have obstacles and stuff on them, and you're kind of moving between them to stay on it. It's a Storefest as well. So, it needs something else to kind of make it more challenging.
I mean, I guess the other thing that I could think of doing is maybe force them to be like first round games.
Yeah.
That way then it's kind of a free pass, but the ones that fail it are kicked.
Well, the problem with memory is that it's so easy to win that you hardly lose anyone on that.
That's why I'm saying maybe do it like a first round.
Yeah.
Because inevitably, you're going to lose people just because of lack of space.
Yeah, that would probably help by putting it first round, because I don't think I've hit more memory games first round. Shuffle that to first round, like your first round cues, like that would help. And that would let the platforming stuff, like, because I think it's consistent that the first rounds are always the platforming gauntlets.
Which makes sense, because it sounds like they're trying to narrow everyone down as quick as possible. But
Right.
maybe extend the game a little bit and let that be the first round with memory, then you're going to lose a few people, but not a lot.
Yeah.
And then maybe shift into the platforming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I dig it. I just wish the netcode was better. Which is the same thing about Ninjala. I wish its netcode was better.
Yeah.
Also, the game has team queues, even though there's no team game mode, which is nice. The netcode issues cause problems with that, because you and your friend buddy can, like, one of you can connect, one of you could just get disconnected, so you're kind of like stuck.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll fix that though.
Well, yeah, I think a lot of that's just like initial surge, too many people. This is more than we were expecting, kind of deal.
Well, the team thing could be just a issue of it's trying to find out if the host can connect, kind of like how Ninjala winds up doing, and it doesn't really factor in if everyone can connect. So that might in all seriousness be a little harder to rework.
I guess the other thing is I've made progress on modding Radiant Dawn. I was mainly editing the growth modules with Nightmare. And I found out, okay, the growth rates are here. So if I want to modify the growth rates, I have to modify it in this file, not in the class file, because that doesn't work. The other thing is, the stat additions that it listed, I thought it might have been, like, I don't know, additions per level or something like that. I found out that is the bonuses each character gets.
Oh.
On top of the base stats of the class.
Oh.
So when I did all 20s on all of them, Micaiah went from I can't kill anyone without assistance to I will murder everyone in this map and you can't touch me.
So you found the combination to turn God mode on.
More or less. And bear in mind, I did that to every single playable character.
Which is the opposite of what you were wanting to do.
Yeah, I'm trying to like do it, like improve, like do some dumb stuff, but not that dumb. So, thankfully, I just did it to where it's now +2 on everything, which is still a good bonus. I just now have to go into the class editor, because the problem with the class editor is that the classes you're editing are universal. So any character that has that class, even if it's like an enemy unit, gets those buffs that you're applying. But the good thing is, I was only planning on doing now +3 to all stats. So whatever that stat is, I'm going to put it 3 higher. Have the max stat that can be for that class be like 50 all around or like higher. I don't know. It just depends on the class. If I need to go higher. And that's all I can really change with those. But once I'm done with those, I should be done with modding this and it should be where I want it to be. I would have to play like the first few maps or so to like make sure it's working right.
And make sure it doesn't break.
It shouldn't break. I assume.
or the other question is make sure you don't cause some kind of weird overflow issue.
I mean, I don't think I can, because max stats would have to be like above 50. Or the stat would have to go maybe above 50 or even higher. I think it has to be like 225 for it to overflow. And that's impossible for what I'm doing. I can't get a stat up to 225 because every unit maxes out at level-wise at 20 per class.
Although now that I said that, I just thought of something. What if you tried to do a stat underflow where you forced it into a negative and then it just acted like it was max?
I don't think I can do that because you can't take away. Well, no, you could. if you set the class one low enough that the character ones underflow it, but I don't know what would happen then.
That would be something interesting to find out.
Yeah. I mean, it's entirely possible that there could be an underflow on it, but I'm not sure. But
that would be funny. Force that and then just be one-shot everything.
It wouldn't even take that much to one-shot everything, honestly. Like that. that would be overkill at that point. Hard.
True.
I would only need to be in the, I think, like 50s to like one shot, even like I think the final boss.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Bear in mind, Fire Emblem stats don't get like above 100, or don't get into the triple digits ever, and rarely above probably 50 or 60.
So then when you would be doing that, you would essentially be nuking everything.
Yeah. Like if I had like 225 on everything, there is literally nothing any enemy could do regardless of what they're trying. And even if I was 50, it was regardless of what I was doing. Because bear in mind, I had Micaiah's at 20s for all of her stats, and that would put her like in the 30 to 40 ranges on her stats on the first map. No one could touch her. No one could even do damage. And she had a high likelihood to crit. That's at level 1.
Crit for days.
Yeah. Because your crit is more or less, I think, a percentage of your luck stat. If I remember right. Or something else along those lines. More or less, it's a percentage chance that the higher your stat is, the higher chance you get the crit. So, yeah. That should be ready in the next... I don't know, in the next couple weeks or so. I also need to like get back to Old Republic and level up my trooper to do the last couple worlds on that, because I left it off on a cliffhanger and I kept forgetting to do the grind to actually do that.
Whoops.
Yep. I also need to do the grind for going commando, so that's just going to be a bunch of stuff like Monday, probably.
Bunch of stuff to grind.
Mm-hmm. But anywho, anything else before we hit articles?
I can't really think of anything.
Alright, so first up, none of the things we talked about earlier because it's the state of play. Which was yesterday.
Yep.
So this was billed as not a super important state of play. It's more or less touching base with a lot of stuff from their last one. And a lot of our stuff that's already been announced. So nothing super surprising here. They kicked off with Crash 4, more or less reiterating all the same points that we know about with Crash 4. I don't think they even showed off anything new for this.
According to the article they did. Dingo Dial being a playable character.
Oh yeah, Dingle Dial. I forgot. They announced Dingle Dial as a playable character, and he has a flamethrower?
I have no idea.
Not a
I haven't looked at it. I just am reading.
He has a gun. I forget gun.
I don't remember the boss fight, because I know I've seen it, but I can't think of it.
Oh no, he has a suction gun. So you can like hover with it, and you can like suck barrels and stuff to you, and you can just shoot them at people.
But he has a grappling
more
hook.
or less. More or less. Except he can hover with it.
Because that seems to be the recurring theme right now.
Oh, and on replay for levels, you can turn on more or less a special graphics mode depending on the dimension that level is in. So you can have like an inverted colors, you can have a black and white colors, you can have a art like world, or like an ultimate black and white world, a blank world that you fill in with colors when you do spin dashes and platform and stuff, a world that's underwater now. So there's a reason to replay all the levels in the game. But otherwise, that's Crash 4. Not the most interesting of announcements, but still cool. Hitman 3 is getting VR support with PlayStation VR.
Because everything needs VR support.
Yep. And then the entire Hitman trilogy apparently as well. Because I think everything's bundled in Hitman 3. I know the last game is bundled into Hitman 3. But I didn't think everything was. So, like, there's a special VR mode. VR is not an integral part of Hitman 3. There's just a specific mode now for Hitman 3 that is VR supported. If you want to play Hitman in VR. Braid is getting an anniversary edition with brand new art and a swath of developer commentaries from all the different departments at their studio. Trying to find where they showed their menu, because it was like 8 or 9 different commentary tracks. Yeah, there's a history and art direction, updated graphics, gameplay design, puzzle design, sound and music, programming, speedruns are all different commentary tracks you can have on at the same time, and you can kind of string them together to hear talks about all sorts of Braid stuff. So that's cool. Also, I was wrong. It's more than 10 years old, because this game came out in 2008.
And that just happened. Why did you grab the wrong window?
Oh no.
There we go. I was trying to remove the mouse cursor, but I can't do that. Apparently the way I'm doing it, it's not letting me do that.
Spelunky 2 has a release date. It is next month, September. Get the exact date real quick. September 15th. It's looking very Spelunky, with the trailer showing a lot of you dying repeatedly. So
sounds about right.
Yeah. They introduced some new shop stuff, some new enemies, some new leveling and gadgets. More or less a brand new host of stuff for you to play around with. Control is getting its second expansion. It's Alan Wake themed expansion. AWE. Which is cool. I know I think I heard about this like a while back, but yeah, that's what they're doing at the moment. Because I think Alan Wake was already teased in the game to start with, so. Vader Immortal, the Star Wars VR game, is coming to PlayStation VR August 25th. Yay! It's not the most interesting game from what I've heard, so Aeon Must Die. This is a neat little... I'm not sure what this is. I want to say it's like a turn-based game from the looks of it. I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm fixing to boot the trailer up to see.
Like, I feel it's turn-based, but they didn't talk about the gameplay at all that much. Like, the bits of gameplay, or what I assume to be gameplay, look like it would be turn-based. It's got a nice art style, I'll give it that. I'm into the art style.
Yeah, it kind of looks like it'd be turn-based.
Mm-hmm.
But the name puts me in the mindset of how Orcs Must Die was.
Yeah.
So that makes me wonder if they just used a similar name, or if this might actually be more akin to that.
Mm-hmm. But it looks interesting. It's coming out next year, I assume. Yep, next year. Hood Outlaws and Legends is a PvPvE game coming to all the platforms next year. Is this our Assassin's Creed Battle Royale? Because it feels like that.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it.
Yeah. Oh well. The Pedestrian is a neat little 2D platformer where you rearrange the frames in order to platform properly. So it's a puzzle platformer. I really dig it. I dig this. It's coming to PC January next year, but I think it's already out on PC. Bugsnax had more gameplay. More or less, you're a reporter and you're doing the Animal Crossing thing of helping people do stuff. And you're catching the Bugsnax for them. Also, Pizza Dragon! Or Big Pizza Bird. I don't know. I don't know. This game continues to look cool. People do not like the abominations created from the Bugsnax, but I'm just like, whatever. It's a Muppets-looking game. It's whatever.
Like, are they worse than the abominations in Sword and Shield?
No.
Then why
Not
are
really.
people griping?
Mutinatium? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Anno, more or less. Anime game. Anime action game. That's 2D. And, like, you are, like, in different frames than the rest of the game, it looks like, which is kind of interesting. Like, your character looks like they're at a different frame rate than the rest of the world. Which is weird. Also, some really hard Neon Genesis Evangelion things going on here with the liberal use of Christian iconography and stuff. Like, that whole last part of the trailer, I'm just like, I've not seen much of Neon Genesis Evangelion, but what I've seen of Evangelion, that's some Evangelion ass shit. That comes out December. The Pathless had a very extended demo. This is from the Abzu creators. I kind of liked the movement tech, where you're just timing your bow strikes. You don't have to aim them, you just have to be in the vicinity and just shoot. So I like the movement tech. The bosses don't seem that interesting because it's just the same thing with bosses until you get to, I guess, an arena phase to actually fight them. Because it seems like you have a chase phase and then you have an arena fight phase. And I feel I'm more interested in the arena fight phase than I am the chase phase.
I could see that.
Also, there's apparently no map. You have to navigate just by getting up high, somewhere high and just scanning with your little mask thing just to see points of interest and just go. Which,
so
okay.
It's kind of pseudo open world concept?
More or less. Genshin Impact is just an action RPG anime game? I thought this was an MMO to some extent, but I guess it's not. It's a very standard anime game with a little bit of Breath of the Wild in it from the looks of it.
Huh.
Have you ever wanted anime Breath of the Wild? That is this game.
Meh.
It's alright. I kind of like the art style, but that's about it. Auto Chess is coming to PlayStation 4. Yay. Temtem's also coming to PlayStation 5 2021. So, hey, if you've not played the not Pokemon MMO, it's here.
The not Pokemon game.
Yep. And finally, Godfall got an extended demo. It's a hack and slash looter game. Nah.
Way to go, Eurogamer.
What?
Godfall's trailer. It's Crash 4's.
Is it?
It is for me.
And it's not for me. It's the proper Godfall trailer. That's weird. I don't know. It just seemed fairly standard. It didn't seem anything super interesting.
Oh, no.
So, yeah,
it wound up finding a way to reset the trailers. That's interesting. Because the next one down is the trailer for Control. And I know that's not right either. That's still not right. That one's right now, but the next one's still not right. Okay.
Yeah.
Chrome, what are you doing? Because now I know this is you.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, how do you feel about the state of play?
Didn't really
it
seem like anything big.
Yeah. What's more, Sony avoiding the important questions that need to be answered for them right now.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's almost like they're avoiding them just like Microsoft's avoiding them forever.
Yep.
God damn it.
And Nintendo's just sitting in the corner like, I wish these two would figure it out so we could announce stuff.
More or less. Everyone playing chicken.
Yep.
But we do have a question answered. Not what we were having at the moment when it came to Halo, but we have it answered, and that is that the Halo multiplayer is free to play. And may or may not involve a Battle Royale mode, according to one store listing in, I think, China.
It's gonna have to be free to play. That's the only way it's gonna make money.
Yeah.
Because literally the only reason we got Halo 5 Forge was to basically test out if people wanted Master Chief Collection to come over to PC.
Mm-hmm. It is very... I don't know how to feel about this, because I'm just like... I didn't get into 5 at all, but apparently the multiplayer was back to where it needed to be with 5. But Halo Infinite also has a lot of questions around it, and I didn't need more questions with the multiplayer, because I felt like, oh, the multiplayer is fine, it's just going to be this. No, here's more questions. God.
Well, you know what the answer is?
What?
Buy Master Chief Collection and just wait until after Infinite's out. Because that's about the point that I'm at.
Yep.
The only thing is I've actually done one of those steps.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, because if it's got a battle royale mode, then it's gonna be complete and utter chaos.
Yeah.
And it's gonna eventually turn into what Fortnite is, where people that just want to play it for the fun of it are gonna get burned out.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the free-to-play multiplayer for Halo might be the right option. Mm-hmm. Doing a battle royale mode might be an option, but I think that should be a separate thing and should not be tied into the main game.
It also should not just be the same style of gameplay that Fortnite gives us, with just Halo mechanics.
Yeah.
It needs to be something uniquely its own.
If anyone paid attention on Twitter, we kind of had a thread going on between you, me, and Glock.
More, yeah.
And yeah, like I said, in that I really don't want it to have a battle royale mode. If it does, I kind of agree with what you said. It needs to be something akin to Fall Guys, where it's kind of having rounds, and each round so many people progress.
Yeah, because you could do that with, like, I would say you could do that with Halo modes, but then I go, oh right, Forge, you could do this with fucking anything, because they have the tools to make whatever the fuck they want in the Halo multiplayer landscape.
And, I mean, okay, if you did it just off of game modes alone, and just said that you use base maps,
yeah,
there's enough game modes that you could still do stuff like that.
Yeah, you could start with, like, a big team battles, go to, like, capture the flag, to, it's like, I don't know, King of the Hill, to zombies, I don't know.
Save zombies for last. Maybe do, like, Slayer or SWAT in there, and then cap it off with zombies or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's enough layers they could make that work.
Mm-hmm.
If they do it that way, I might be fine with it.
Yeah, I don't need us in a Pelican or fucking whatever getting dropped out of there onto,
you were right.
Yeah, onto the Halo map or onto the Halo ring somewhere on it, and it's this big open map, and then you land, and then you find weapons and stuff, and then you work your way towards circles, and the circles close in because fucking sentinel like contamination zone bullshit, or the flood, or fucking whatever. I don't know.
Vote for flood.
Probably.
If you don't, there's just massive flood just come flying in and kill you instantly.
Yeah. Alright, and the last Spartan standing wins. Like, I don't want that. I have that. That's Fortnite. That is Apex Legends. That is Plunkbat. That is Call of Duty Warzone at the moment, because that's also free to play. Because Call of Duty has their own, like, more or less battle royale. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. Like, it has its own thing where you have, like, a second chance mechanic by getting thrown in what they call the gulag, where you 1v1 someone to get a second chance.
So at least they tried to change it up a little bit.
Yeah, they're changing. And, like, Apex Legends did different stuff as well. They had the respawn. They had you be able to respawn teammates. They had...
Well, I think in the Call of Duty one, can't you revive teammates to a certain point, too?
Probably. But I think Apex Legends did it first.
I'm not saying they didn't, but...
Yeah.
I mean, there's decent quality of life changes to it that Fortnite's not figured out. They just...
Yeah.
Epic just keeps thinking, well, we'll throw new toys at them. They'll love that.
And not put the toys in Team Rumbles, because fuck you, how dare you have fun?
How dare
we do fun game modes?
Yeah.
That's why I got mad at Fortnite in the last season, is because they took away the one game mode I was really loving in Fortnite and swapped it around with like 2 other game modes that were garbage.
Well, I kind of lost interest when, season 1 came out and we didn't even have like the baller or anything like that. The dumb, fun stuff.
Yeah. They taken them all out because we are the competitive for Battle Royale, which is the last fucking thing I need.
And is it just me, or does this tweet not just kind of scream, why does that matter?
Yeah.
Talking about it being free to play and will support 120 FPS on Series X. Okay, why? Why does that matter?
Because the frames, everyone cares about the frames.
If I'm playing Halo, I'm playing it for fun.
Yeah.
If I'm getting sniped at every turn because, someone cranked the frame rate sky high, that's not fun anymore.
Yeah.
And actually is the quickest way for me to click that uninstall button. It's like, sure, I get that is nice. But when you've got people that are, it better have XYZ or else, it's like, no. No.
I think more or less I just don't want Halo to get all up in its grill about being competitive. I don't need Halo to be 100% competitive. I would like Halo to be fun. So like 50% competitive.
It's always had its competitive side.
Yeah.
And it's even kind of there in Master Chief Collection because you got the casual and ranked playlists still.
Yeah.
I think if they wanted to do something to make it competitive, maybe give the competitive people more of a bone and just let the casuals be the casuals.
Yeah.
Also, the horrible thing that I've noticed with the Master Chief Collection multiplayer is it almost feels like people that should be playing in ranked are playing in casual, and I'm like, I don't like that. It's like, give us a way to boot them over into ranked.
Well, shall we talk about Marvel now?
Marvel for days and weeks.
Yeah.
And months.
Yeah, because we have like 3 separate articles to get through about this. So first and foremost, they had their war table event that detailed the beta that is currently ongoing at the moment for PlayStation players and will roll out to other platforms over the next couple weeks. And also detailed their first post-launch character, which is not Hank Pym Ant-Man, which I thought they said last year their first post-launch character was Hank Pym Ant-Man. So I'm confused because where the hell does Hank Pym Ant-Man fall into place? Because what of the 4 I think that are post-launch that they confirmed, I think with the war table, one of them has to be Hank. And the third one is Spidey, as we'll talk about soon.
Yeah.
So who the fuck is the 4th person? Unless Hank's in the main game. But anyway, Hawkeye will be your first post-launch character. It's Hawkeye, more or less. I don't know what you're expecting. Everyone made us think enough of wanting Hawkeye, so Hawkeye's here, I guess.
I mean, to be fair, they did kind of manage to, take away an Avenger. Because, to be fair, as far as the bulk of people go, they consider him that, even though some iterations he's not.
I was about to say, the original Avengers, he wasn't. Yeah. I think his first Avenger roles was West Coast, actually, because he led West Coast Avengers.
But case in point, with MCU being a thing, most people that see this game are going to be like, where's he?
Yeah. Oh no, he was on the Avengers, but he also led the West Coast Avengers. So no, there's iterations of him with Avengers, but like again, he's not the original and not MCU. Which, I mean, if I'm going to complain about something, where the hell are Ant-Man and Wasp considering they're original Avengers?
Yep.
But yeah, that they also detailed some of the stuff from the beta. They're going to be in the beta. You get the 8A mission, along with a story mission with Hulk and Kamala. You also get 20 co-op missions, I believe.
Yep.
You also get their danger room to mess around with and do missions in there, which they call Harm, because I don't know why they would call it that instead of just calling it the danger room, but whatever. Harm just sounds terrible. Needs a better name. You also get 4 playable characters. You get Hulk, Kamala, Black Widow, and Iron Man. You do not get Thor or Captain America to play with for the beta, which is... Cap makes sense because he feels like the end of story campaign unlock, more like, or somewhere deep in the story campaign, you'll get to finally unlock Cap and get to play as him. But Thor feels like an early unlock. And some extra stuff for the beta has also come out. I will refer to one thing real quick that makes me incredibly nervous. Let me make sure I can grab his video real quick, because I want to get what this is right, so no one complains at me. But each character has, was it challenge cards? That's what they're called. Thank you, ad. I don't need an ad right now. I need video. Sir. Yeah, a challenge card, which is more or less season pass in format. You do challenges to level it up, and you get unlocks based around that character. And there is one for each character.
Oof.
And they max out at 40? And I think it's a separate progression than your normal character, I would assume. Now, I don't know if it's like an actual season pass, but it's formatted like a season pass, which makes me nervous because it keeps saying that everything's free. And I go, are we sure that further character cards aren't going to be free? Or parts of it won't be free? I know they keep saying that all their updates are going to be free, but I'm like, you got to spend money, get players to spend money somewhere in this fucking video game. Mm-hmm. At some point. Mm-hmm. That can't last forever.
Nope.
Finally, dates for the beta. August 7th was when the PlayStation pre-order beta started. August 14th is an open beta. The entire PlayStation 4 community, as part of the Advantage partnership, will be open, and that's also when Xbox One and PC players get to hop in. And then August 21st is the big open beta for everyone and anyone to hop in, and that will come like a couple weeks pre-launch of the game.
So basically, we're stress testing the game to see if the servers crumble.
Yeah, because it comes out September 4th.
Which that 21st will be attempting it.
Yeah.
Bear in mind, if servers are super borked, then we might not be doing that. But we're definitely not doing Phantom Hourglass that week.
No, Phantom Hourglass has decided, hey, we're a bad video game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But as I mentioned earlier, Spider-Man will be one of the post-launch characters. And he is exclusive to PlayStation 4 and 5. And will be a new take on Spider-Man by Crystal Dynamics. So he won't even be Insomniac's Spider-Man.
Aww.
Yeah, it's not even Insomniac Spider-Man. It's Crystal Dynamics' own take on Spider-Man.
Well, why is he exclusive to them?
I keep hearing people say the words video game rights, and it makes me upset because that doesn't exist. Or keeps mistaking that Sony owns Spider-Man because they do all the movies when that's not the case.
That's not the case.
No. Okay, so I keep hopping into people's conversations about this when it comes to stuff. Okay. For those that don't know or don't understand what's going on, Sony has the movie rights to Spider-Man, which they got from Marvel back in the day when they were going bankrupt. They only have them because Marvel has cut a deal with them to to let them have creative control of Spider-Man movies and to put Spider-Man in the MCU for so many movies. Which is why we've got Homecoming and Far From Home and Spider-Man's appearances in Infinity War and Endgame and Civil War and all that.
And I believe still what's in the contract right now is Spidey 3 and a crossover movie, which everyone's assuming's Avengers 5.
Yes, which right now Avengers 5 is not even in the next phase of Marvel movies at the moment, so... that might be a ways away for now.
Yeah.
So, again, they also had the TV rights to Spider-Man, but they don't have them anymore. Those reverted to Marvel, or they got bought out by Marvel after Spectacular Spider-Man ended. Actually, that's why Spectacular Spider-Man ended. Because Spectacular was a Sony production, and when the rights went back to Marvel, they had to start brand new, which is why we've gotten to all the different Spider-Man cartoons under Marvel that have all been bad, as far as I know. So no, there are no video game rights. Because guess who's been making Spider-Man games for the better part of a fucking decade before Sony? Activision. Do I need to point out the dozens of Spider-Man games Activision published in the last decade?
I believe every one of them right now.
Yes! Like, Insomniac Spider-Man is the first Spider-Man game exclusive to a Sony console ever! And that's only because Marvel partnered with Sony, more or less saying, make us a Spider-Man game. And paid them money to make them a Spider-Man game. That's it. Sony doesn't have the rights to Spider-Man in video games, as far as we know. Does that partnership lead to Sony probably wanting Spider-Man to stay on their Sony platform? Probably. I also hated when people said that the PlayStation 3 used the Spider-Man text. No, it used the movie Spider-Man text. It did not use Spider-Man text in general. That text was created specifically for Spider-Man movies, and they put it on the PlayStation 3. Get your timelines right, people. Fuck's sakes. Ugh. I have to scream at people like, that's wrong! No, you are overthinking this. Stop it! Because also that has come out is that Sony is also getting 30-day exclusive access to legendary outfits, emotes, epic takedowns, and nameplates of every launch hero and post-launch hero, which includes Hawkeye. So they get 30-day access to an exclusive bundle of material for every single character for 30 days.
You know what I have to wonder if this is?
What?
If this is Activision's way of saying, Sony, please don't throw us to the curb. We can do Spider-Man.
Well, Activision has nothing to do with this game, actually.
Oh, I thought they did.
Nope. Nope, this is Square Enix in Crystal Dynamics.
Oh.
Yeah, this is Square.
Why is Square throwing them such a hard bone?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's Sony approached Square, Crystal, and Marvel on this with a bucket of money going, give us exclusives, or if they approached Sony to do a deal on this, because it could be either way, because both have happened.
Unless this is repercussion from Marvel's deal to get Spider-Man on the PS4.
Maybe.
Like, maybe this is a case of Marvel came to Sony, said, please do this, and they said, okay, only if you do this.
Maybe.
Because that could be a thing then.
Mm-hmm. Granted, Insomniac wasn't owned by Sony before they made the game. So, that would have been a weird publishing deal before Sony even thought about buying on Insomniac.
Unless it was already in the thoughts.
Probably.
Not to mention, Sony actually published the game, so it really didn't matter who made it. They were still in charge of publishing it, so this could be that still, because of it being hey, we did you a favor, you do us a favor. It seems too weird, though.
But yeah, I just don't like this. This makes me not like the game even more than I already have, because I've watched beta footage and it didn't seem like that interesting of a game from the beta footage. Because also
is it just me, or does that... I hope the video is the problem with that still, otherwise, oh dear God.
What?
Look on stream, and you'll see the Hulk. AKA the green blurry blob. I really hope that's just the video where I paused it.
That's probably the video where you paused it.
Because otherwise, oh my God. That looks horrible.
Yeah, I just don't like this because this incredibly devalues, especially with Spider-Man, because that more or less takes a play option for this game out of people's hands for Microsoft and PC. And for those wondering, no, there will be no more platform exclusive characters coming to Avengers. It's just Spider-Man. So I don't know where Glock got his source on that Hawkeye was exclusive to something, or to the PlayStation, or to Sony's platforms, because that's not the case.
Maybe
from everything
it was
I've heard.
Speculation that he heard.
Probably. Because as far as I understand,
I could see it being speculation, because people would be like, oh, well, this happened, so this must be happening.
Yeah. Unless somehow Sony has 30-day early access to post-launch characters, which would be incredibly fucking stupid at that point.
True.
I don't want to say that's the case, but fucking it may be at this point.
It might be.
But yeah, no other characters will be platform exclusive, so we can't even do the Soul Calibur 2 reference, which I hear so goddamn much in relation to this. I'm like, well, Soul Calibur 2 did different characters for different consoles. Yes. But there's nothing comparable given to either Xbox players or PC players to make up for this difference.
Yeah.
Those are still lesser versions of this game on PlayStation.
Like, I almost feel like the deal would be better if they were just like, okay, Spider-Man's in all of them, but for Sony players, you get the Miles Morales Spider-Man as an option. Because then it's okay. You just got a different skin.
Yeah. Like, exclusive skins would be fine.
Well, okay, I'm going to take that back. Exclusive skin plus a few alternate powers. Because the Miles Morales Spider-Man does have different powers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, something like that would still be exclusive enough, but it wouldn't alienate everyone.
Yeah. And I also want to point this out because it's clearly visible in the war table footage now. Black Widow and Kamala both have more or less a web swinging ability. Kamala does it just with her stretchy arms. Black Widow does it with a grappling hook. Both of those incredibly look like web slinging. So it's not a case of it needing to be specific to a platform, because both Black Widow and Kamala can do it.
and they're in all of them. So yeah.
So just, I hate it. I hate all of it. It all sucks.
Yeah, it's kind of turning me away from the game, to be fair.
And I
we've not even touched it.
Yeah,
is what's bad.
And I also have the question of how long do you expect this to last? Because it can't last forever. There's no way they can keep Sony on Spider-Man on PlayStation forever.
I mean, they could.
I know they could, but like, it's going to be a detriment because Spider-Man would be post-launch, I would think. So that's literally a time frame when you're putting in new content with a character that the other two platforms are just not getting content then. Which would incredibly suck.
Well, not to mention, I have to wonder how many people wouldn't bother touching the game because of it.
Yeah.
So how much money are they willing to lose before this changes?
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention, I kind of... Yeah, I don't have faith in Square.
Yeah.
Not in current Square.
Speaking as a Kingdom Hearts 3 player, yeah, I feel that. I know Glock loves 15, but I'm just like, there's stuff I know about 15 that I'm just not, I don't know.
With me, it's the hard turn off on 13. And
True.
Knowing that the rest of the trilogy is just as bad.
Yeah.
It's like, I have no faith in them. Who's
Honestly,
to say we're going to get this and it's not just going to be complete and utter crap storytelling?
Yeah. Because I also have more faith in the 14 team because they've gotten quite the following and have won over support super hard on that game to where I believe it's next week. The new patch they're going to put in. Not only will the entire like Realm Reborn base game now be completely free to play on their trial system, but the first expansion, Heaven's Ward, will also be a part of that trial expansion.
But, okay, on top of that, look how long it took 14 to actually make the turnaround.
Yeah.
So, even with them, I feel like I don't really have a whole lot of faith because, you know, when you start out bad, you have nowhere to go but good.
Yeah.
If you start out good, then you can kind of maintain and just keep rolling.
Yeah. I will give the 14 team credit. They have made the most of their fucking second chance.
Yeah. I'll give them that.
And they have banged out a really good game in the process.
I'll give them that. It's kind of like what everyone said about Destiny after the expansion started coming out. Destiny 1, not 2.
Mm-hmm.
But then they managed to screw up 2. Like, I felt 2's base game was alright, but then it went downhill from there. So it's like, It's one of those, I'm kind of not having faith in this system more so than whoever's behind it. And then having Square behind it too is not making it any better.
Mm-hmm. But we do have something else that is superhero related that I'm not sure how to feel about.
Yeah, I'm not sure how to feel about this either.
So you know how Rocksteady has been rumored to be working on this, that, and the other for the last like 5 years or so?
And nothing's ever been right.
Yeah, even their teases for a Batman game aren't right. Because, surprise! At the DC Fandom, August 22nd, which apparently is a 24-hour virtual fan experience, Rocksteady will be announcing and showcasing their brand new Suicide Squad game. So, yeah, a Suicide Squad game. And here we have a Superman with the Suicide Squad logo that is like a crosshairs on his head as the teaser. And, okay. I don't know. I'd have to see what they're doing.
I don't know how to feel. I really
Neither
don't.
do I. Because I think it's been confirmed at this point that like they were working on a Batman game, but it got canceled. But that was before they had all these teasers for a Batman game, like on Batman's anniversary, and now it's just like, here's the Suicide Squad game, but it's just like, wait, this is not what you teased before. The fuck was with all that Saint Dumas shit from like a month or 2 months ago? Is that a completely separate thing than this? Does that have anything to do with this? Like, what's happening?
I never know.
Yeah. But we do have one good thing to end on for articles. So we haven't hit this yet, even though it's been out for, I think, a month plus.
Yeah.
And
Oops.
And I've dumped all the information to the Sotopop team to let them look over it and see if they want to promote it. But Summer Games Done Quick was online this year because fucking Corona, like everything else. But that won't stop them from going a week long for Doctors Without Borders, which feels like very appropriate considering the current state of the world.
Very true.
A plethora of runs starting Sunday, August 16th at 11:30 a.m. and running all the way to the following Sunday, the 23rd, when they will end off at some point past midnight.
Yeah, because it's never at midnight.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess we'll run through the schedule a little bit, highlight some of the noteworthy runs or any runs that might interest us. So, our first game is going to be Demon Souls, 80%. Nice, considering we're getting that remake of it next year.
True.
Search Ridge 4, Rayman Legends, Ico, Shovel Knight, King of Cards, ooh. Speedrunning card games.
40 minutes. That's going to be interesting.
Pro Skater 2X, Dusk Odyssey, World Peace on day 1, and Secret of Mana.
Huh. Now, I know there's 2, I'm wanting to say, Out of Bounds clips. Because I'm believing Sand Kingdom and Snow Kingdom both have a clip.
Yeah, I know about both of those.
I don't know if there's any more. That time looks like there's probably not, though.
Probably not. Picking up on Monday, the 17th, we've got Reverse Boss Order for Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. Elder Scrolls 4 building in no Out of Bounds. That is still 40 minutes, so...
Did you skip over Monday?
Did I skip over Monday? No? No, I'm in Monday. Those are in Monday. They're in the middle of the day Monday, or morning Monday.
Oh, you went way down. You're just kind of hitting highlights.
Yeah, I'm hitting the highlights.
Oh, well, you were kind of running through all of Sunday, so I was like, oh, we're really
well,
going
Sunday
through all
isn't
of this.
like
Okay,
isn't
cool.
like 20 isn't like 40 fucking runs like Monday is. So I figured I'd skip down to the important stuff because, like, I'm sorry, who's gonna care about Jimmy Neutron versus Jimmy Negatron?
I mean, you'd be surprised.
True. I've got Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, Arkham City, Portal Glitchless, and Portal 2 all main courses, and Talos Principle all sigils. All of the platforming puzzle solving.
Ooh. Will of the Wisps? Potentially?
Yep, bonus game. 80% easy, no Out of Bounds. And before that, Hollow Knight, no 80%, no major glitches, race. And Gunvolt Chronicles, the new Gunvolt Chronicles, 80% PC. Because I believe it's the new one. The new Gunvolt, I believe. Yeah, that's the new one. And then Alien Isolation in off Monday. Into Silent Hill and Alone in the Dark. Which that's the original Alone in the Dark too. That's not the Xbox one.
Oh yeah.
Some Donkey Kong Country 2 in the morning on Tuesday. Some Castlevania 2. Some Bloodstained, low percent. And Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. So you get Curse of the Moon in Ritual of the Night. So we get 2D in 2.5D. Disney's Extreme Skate Adventure, 80% for GameCube, with Tony Hawk Underground, and then Trackmania Nations Forever. Twilight Princess HD on the Wii U. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is a bonus game, a 48-track relay. Splatoon, New Game Plus, and Ratchet & Clank Up Your Arsenal, New Game Plus, no quit exploit. Zem running it, because I think he's the only one that does all the big Ratchet & Clank runs at GDQ at the moment.
Probably, yeah.
Let's see, Darksiders Genesis, Bioshock Infinite, in the morning on, or like early Wednesday to kick off. One Step from Eden, 9 o'clock. That's a Metroidvania. Ooh, Mario Luigi Paper Jam, 80%.
I just saw a Son of a Glitch episode about that, and oh my god, if we see some of those glitches pulled off, that's going to be interesting.
I would assume so.
That game is broken. Big time.
Zelda Link's Awakening, Warpless, Last of Us, Grounded Mode, Glitchless New Game, Freedom Planet, Carol, 80%, Classic, Sonic the Hedgehog at 91, Beat the Game Glitchless, Sonic 2, Beat the Game, Sonic 3 and Knuckles, all Emeralds with Sonic, Sonic Heroes,
oh my god,
Sonic vs. Chaotix.
I guess that's a bid war?
Probably. So either the Sonic route or the Chaotix route. And then a bonus RE3 remake, New Game Standard. And then DMC4 Special Edition, Nero Dante Devil Hunter, new game. Oh, and here's one to not miss because I'm definitely one for all this bullshit. Night Trap, best ending. Fuck yes, give me my FMV games. Give me my historically relevant FMV games. I want to stay up just for that. Because I think you'll be, like, either done or close to done by the time that starts.
Should be, yeah.
Pringles, also on Genesis. Was it yeah, just Pringles the video game. Cool. What else do we got on Thursday? Simpsons the arcade game and Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition. Billy Hatcher and the Giant Egg. The long lost Sega mascot game for the GameCube. Doom 64, the 2020 release of it. Be Gentle Speed, and then the Lost Levels. Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. Doom 3. Warframe, a boss showcase. Ooh.
Okay, that's a thing?
I guess.
Huh.
Mega Man 9. Yakuza Kiwami 2. I don't think I've ever seen a Yakuza speedrun. I want to see a Yakuza speedrun. Ocarina of Time, randomizer co-op. And a bonus, Half-Life Alyx, 80% no spin. So a VR speedrun. Ooh. I don't think we've had a VR speedrun before at GDQ.
I don't think we have either.
Yeah. And then Doom Eternal, 80% no major glitches. Nightmare. Moving into Modern Warfare 2. We Happy Few as well. Moving into Friday. Star Wars Knights of the Republic. It's at 4 o'clock in the morning, but I'd be down for that. And the Halo Neighbor speedrun at 6 o'clock in the morning. Ooh, Baba Is You. And Cy Cooper and Amphibious Raccoonus. 10 o'clock Friday is a level 1 data fight speedrun.
Oh goodness.
If you have not caught a data fight speedrun before, catch this. Data fight speedruns are incredibly impressive on a technical level. Especially if you've seen me beat them. Watch this person whip all their asses in 30 minutes. Mario vs. Donkey Kong? Super Monkey Ball 2. Ooh, Super Mario Brothers Warpless. And Lost Levels Warpless. And, Horizon Zero Dawn.
Oh, Warpless D4. Lost Levels.
Yep.
So that's full game.
Mm-hmm. Fusion. Metroid Fusion. 1% Hard Race. Breath of the Wild. All dog treasures? I don't know what that means.
What?
What does dog treasures mean?
I don't know.
It is treasures you get by bribing dog, and they dig it up for you. There's 14 of them.
Huh.
Okay.
I wonder if that's from a new game file or if it's from a completed file.
I don't know. Fire Red, Leaf Green, Glitchless, 80% race. Correct with the Necrodancer, Coda, all zones, and then Pump It Up, an arcade cabinet run. This is our bonus game 5. Followed by, on the final day, starting off with 7 Remake, 80% normal. At nearly 7.5 hours. Buckle in. You're in for the long haul.
Gonna be most of the day right there.
Yeah, it literally the next run's at like 8 o'clock, so people will be waking up to the end of that run.
The cliffhanger end of that run.
Yep. Super Metroid 100%, Vice City all missions, Smash 64 break the targets all characters blindfolded. Hell yeah, I'm up for some blindfolded shenanigans. That sounds incredibly entertaining.
As a showcase. Playing an SM64 hack? Huh.
Would be that? Didn't they do one last time?
I don't remember.
Bloodborne, final bonus game is a Minecraft 80% random seed glitchless 1.7. I think, yeah, that's the version I do Ridercraft on. I believe. Isn't that the version for Ridercraft?
No, I thought you had to be on 1.12.
Is it 1.12? I might. 1 second. I will boot it up in the background.
I might be wrong, but I know I at least did in 1.12.
Okay, probably. And finally, the last run is Pokemon Shield, 80%. I don't know why it's also specified Shield again.
Because Sword and Shield are actually classified as the same thing on the speedrun.com page.
Well, yeah, I just meant, like, the game and the schedule is listed as Shield.
Yeah. Usually so what they do is the category is the SRC category.
Alright.
And it's because both games are together, so that does that.
Okay. It just felt weird just to be like, you specified Shield as the game, and then need to re-specify it as the category.
Yeah.
Whereas the Fire Red Leaf Green one didn't actually specify that.
I think because there's not really any differences with that one, whereas with Sword and Shield there is. Because there's different gems.
Yeah. So yeah, plenty of stuff to watch. Like I said, I gave everything to the Soda Pop podcast since they've been asking for charity stuff, and I'm like, here you go, here's a charity or like video game stream. I'll see if they promote it in any sort of timely fashion. since they're like a couple podcasts behind, I assume they'll promote it on one of their news videos. I'm not sure what takes them so long in editing the podcast outside of just not having the time to edit them.
I mean, that's probably it right there.
Probably. You can get hard on editing the podcast, which is why we do everything live, because we don't have to edit a goddamn thing.
Yep.
Which is a nice benefit.
I mean, to be fair, I could, but I'm not the best at it, and I'm willing to admit that, and yeah.
That's why all the big fancy people have editors.
Yep.
But yeah, that's our news for the week. But we got releases. We've got 2.5 pages of releases.
Yeah. Not as many as the last time I did it.
Yep. So, kickoff August 10th, Twist and Bounce for the Switch. On the 11th, Brunch Club for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Hyperscape for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Instant Sports Summer Games for Switch. Is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? Infinite Combat for PlayStation 4 and Switch. That's an anime game. I know that's an anime game because I know that's a translation for an anime title. Because it's stupidly long.
Yep.
Why are anime titles stupidly long? Stop it.
Never.
And finally, on the 11th, Monster Jam Steel Titans for the Switch. On the 12th, Banner of the Maid for PlayStation 4 and Switch. Escape from Tethys for Xbox One and Switch. Metamorphosis for Xbox One and Switch. And Volta X for the Switch. On the 13th, Boomerang Foo for Xbox One and Switch. And I forgot one.
Yep.
Gotta quietly delete that. Big Dipper for Switch. Bite the Bullet for Switch. Collar X Malice Unlimited for Switch. Drakestival Castle for Xbox One PlayStation 4 and Darkestville? Is that Darkestville? I am dumb. Darkestville, man. I don't know what I'm doing. Darkestville Castle for Xbox One PlayStation 4 and Switch. Double Kick Heroes for Switch. Feria for ZB1? Why is that ZB1? That should be an X. I mistyped that.
I can understand that one though.
Yep. For Xbox One and Switch, Pool Pro Gold for Switch, the Alto Collection for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, the Ambassador Fractured Timelines for Switch, and We Are Doomed for Switch. On the 14th, Arcade Archives Super Punch Out for Switch, Bite the Bullet for Xbox One, Deliver Us to the Moon for Deluxe Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Dying Light Hell Raid for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, EA Sports UFC 4 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Lin Path of Orchids for Xbox One and Switch, Shaolin vs. Wu-Tang for Switch. On the 15th, Regina and Mac for Switch. And on the 17th, Kekanoid? Something along those lines for Switch.
I have no idea.
On the 18th, Helheim Hassle for Switch. Why did I not delete
the dates for any of those? That's a good question.
I guess I just... Apparently I just missed them. Oops. Helheim Hassle for Switch. Mortal Shell for Xbox One, PlayStation 4. My Universe, My Baby! The baby and the baby for Switch. I can't help it. You know that water thing?
Yes.
I keep doing that for the baby. So the baby, and the baby, the baby, and the baby, and the baby, and the baby. Because Metroid, Other M, happened at the same time that happens on John's stream. By the way, fuck Other M. It's a terrible game.
Yes it is, and I'm pretty sure that's the general consensus on that.
Well, I think gameplay-wise it's fine, it's just the story is absolute fucking trash. It deserves to be tossed in a dumpster.
Uh-huh. It's hot dumpster garbage.
Mm-hmm. We also have Pathfinder Kingmaker Definitive Edition for Xbox One and PlayStation 4. On the 19th, Beyond Enemy Lines 2 for Xbox One, Norman's Great Illusion for Xbox One and Switch, and Stones of the Revenant for Xbox One. On the 20th, Battletoads for Xbox One, Chinese Parents for Switch, Ellipsis for Switch, Gleamlight for Switch, Quiden Zuma Manor Story for Switch, Peaky Blinders Mastermind for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Switch. Phenotopia Awakening for Switch, Remnant from the Ashes, Subject 2923 for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, Retro Tanks for Switch, and Space Robinson for Switch. And on the 21st, Alcana Force Rhythms Across the Blue for PlayStation 4 and Switch, Dungeon Scavengers for Xbox One, New Super Lucky Tales for Xbox One and PlayStation 4, One Line Coloring for Switch, Android, and iOS, PGA Tour 2K21 for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and Stadia. That all-important Stadia release. Paratopic for Switch, and Samurai Jack Battle Through Time for Xbox One and PlayStation 4 and Switch.
I love how every time we do releases, you and me both, I've noticed, does it too. Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and then whatever else.
Well, it's how we've done it forever. Bear in mind.
It's one of those, it's just second nature. That's the order, those three are the top, and then everything else just goes behind it.
Yeah.
Because no one cares about the rest.
Like, it's console portable, console portable, console portable. It used to be PC, and then we stopped doing PC, and now I guess it's just mobile and like streaming service now.
And by the way, if mobile ever gets, oh my god, in that release list, we're dropping it too. I will fix it to where we drop it.
Yeah.
Right now, it's not too bad, so I'm like, we'll do it.
Yeah. But yeah, that is releases and quick draws. I've got none.
You've got nothing. Mine will take a second to get it all swapped around, so...
I don't know, do you want to hear me rant about Soto 01 being fairly minimal compared to, like, other lines before it, because they kept shoving in Geo shit, and I didn't like the Geo shit?
I mean,
you saw the other Decade figure I showed off last Sunday, right?
yes.
Yeah, that's our last thing. That's the thing that took the spot of, Fighting Jackal, or Izu, maybe, or, I don't know, fucking Horseshoe Crab. Something else fun from 01 that we're not getting. Unless they decide to keep supporting 01 through Saber.
Which we know they probably won't.
They will, because they'll give us Naki, at least. And they'll give the movie material when it comes out. And the V-Cinema stuff, if we get V-Cinema for 01 at this rate.
Yeah.
But stuff in series, is now kind of in a question mark. Because, I don't know if we would actually get Fighting Jackal at this point. Or Izu. Or Horseshoe Crab. It's now going to be Naki and then whatever is past Naki. In terms of new material. Because I think they have a 6-month turnaround from being first informed of a design to being able to produce it. Approximately. So that's why Naki, they didn't, Naki is like Ikazuchi, because Ikazuchi, debuted last year. They only released it, last month. And their 8th set. They were not told about Ikazuchi in advance, and so they got last minute, and it's just like, shit, it's gonna take us 6 months to get a turnaround on this. So Naki is probably a 6 month or less turnaround. So it's gonna be in the Saber line somewhere. But Fighting Jackal, Izu, Horseshoe Crab, honestly, the first two are the only ones I give a shit about. I always say Horseshoe Crab because Frozen Stratos on Soto Pop loves his army builders, and I'm like, here's your army builder. Here's all your army builders, since you won't shut up about army builders and needing army builder waves you want to buy instead of just buying the single figures, which I don't know. I have a weird opinion about the releases of Soto that I see how it released in Japan, and however decisions they decide that make sense in Japan, just I'm okay with. Like they're stopping complete sets, which are more or less one of each box necessary to get all the figures for that series, or for that set. They're stopping that in favor of just doing case releases. Which, you know, if you could go to Japan, if you were in Japan and you could go to a physical store and pick this stuff off the shelf, that's not a big problem. That changes nothing. And I'm sure that's how a lot of people in Japan shop for Soto. When we're not in the middle of a pandemic.
But the problem is, overseas, that doesn't work.
No, you either buy cases, or you're like me right now with the last like 3 waves of Soto for 0-1, having the piecemeal figures off Monarake or other shopping services. Trying to get the individual figures and probably playing a little more than I should for them.
Probably.
But I don't want to go through the hassle of trying to resell the Geo stuff because, you know, I don't want to deal with that. So yeah, I guess that's my quick draw. It's just me rant about Soto for 10 minutes. You get everything set up.
Yep, because I think I finally got it set up.
Alright, so Tyler, what is your quick draw?
I had to monkey to get this to show up because I thought I had it sized right and I didn't. But something I've kind of been working on kind of goes along with what I said earlier about doing the KH2 randomizer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The tracker that I showed you in the stream Thursday, I think it was. Was that when it was?
You dropped it in the Discord chat at some point, so.
Yeah, it was Thursday. Yeah, that one was the one I was using, and it's good and all. I did even credit the person in mine. But I kind of cleaned it up. The other one was a sea of checkboxes, and all of these pictures were small. Like, really small. So, I've kind of worked on this. So far, everything down below works as far as selecting it. The only weird thing is the keyblades. I might come back in, now that I've done this for the torn pages, and change how that's done to kind of more replicate that one. But right now, the keyblades are set up to where you can mark each of them. I might leave it a weird hybrid. I don't know. It might be a case of it'll count how many of these are there and throw a number there. Mm-hmm. I don't know. That one I've got to play around with. But effectively, you can select each of the areas and be able to have a list of what's in them.
Ooh.
Now, there is something that I think I'm going to leave simply because you shouldn't be clicking it anyhow. But if you click like the last one in there, it'll go ahead and highlight the area saying that you've done the final visit to that area. I'm going to leave it though, because unless there's some kind of sequence break, I don't think you can actually just get to the end without going through everything else.
As far as I know, you can't sequence break Cage too.
So I'm going to leave it like that for now, and if that's a problem, then I'll fix it later.
I don't know. Does it need to highlight if you've gotten everything?
It only needs to highlight if you finished the last visit, not if you've actually gotten every chest. So if you finish the requirement to do the last visit.
Okay. I would just say have it marked if you've done everything in it, I guess. Just so you know you've done all your checks there.
Trying to think if there's a trying to think if there's a way I might could do something like that on the main image, but I can't think of one without screwing up the layout. That's the only downside.
Can you overlay the image with more or less the Mickey emblem?
If I screw up the layout. That's kind of where I'm at.
Oh, yeah.
Hence why the picture I showed you of it has actually been modified a little bit, because when I went to throw the number on the torn pages, it kind of really screwed it up. Mm-hmm. So I had to move the torn pages to where it wouldn't look bad. And in effect, I kind of moved the Keyblade too to kind of make the sizing line up a little bit better. It's still off, but it's as good as I'm going to be able to get it, I think.
Yeah.
Basically, tables aren't working too well with this, and I'm having to use divs. Mm-hmm. And that's causing a weird issue where I have to watch what I'm putting there. If this was all table-based, I could do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a work in progress. I'm not done with it. Like, I've not done Hollow Bastion. Honestly, it's easier if I just say what I've done.
Nah.
But yeah, both Twilight Towns are complete. Disney Castle and Timeless River are complete. Land of Dragons, Beast Castle, and Port Royal are all complete. I'm having to use walkthroughs on the stuff that I'm not 100% sure with.
Yeah.
The neat thing I did do, the tracker I was using had Disney Castle and Timeless River together. I left it that way, so clicking either image will show up, but you'll know if you finished it, which one you finished, if you actually use the tracker the right way.
Yeah. I mean, it makes sense. You pretty much would hit them both at the same time.
But like, if, for instance, you went through Disney Castle and decided, oh, I'll come back to Timeless River, then you'll know.
That feels weird, because I feel like you would just do both like normal.
I have every time I've done it.
Yeah.
Just because it's pretty much a one visit to that and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you've got to go back and do the data fight or Terra.
Oh, does that have the Terra fight?
It's listed.
Okay. Well, it makes sense because that's where you access Terra to start with, is in Disney Castle.
It's listed. You can choose not to do that, though, when you're setting up a randomizer.
Okay.
So
I would say no, because I've not even beaten Terra properly.
I have said no.
I would honestly say no to all the data fights, because I would like to not do them again anytime soon.
I don't think there's a real way to just straight up knock the data fights out. I think you can force them to not have like the required items to finish the game.
Okay.
But that still means they could potentially hold like Reflect or something like that.
I mean, that's fine. Whatever handicap I take for not doing them is whatever.
It's one of those that if we did one on stream, I would make sure that the data fights would only have like HP extensions or something like that. Because you can search the spoiler log, so I would just search for that kind of deal to make sure that those aren't there.
Yeah, I'd be fine.
I don't think I could do them.
yeah, I could maybe do a couple of them after a few rounds, but they would just be time sinks at that point.
For no reason.
Yeah, unless you were well versed in data fights in Terra, they will be immediate time sinks if you were doing a race of this.
That's one of those that I kind of hope that at some point they get to the point where they can kind of just rule them out. That way people that don't feel comfortable with them can just say, I don't want to do them.
Yeah. Yeah, because
yeah,
the Zaldin fight is guaranteed to be like probably 5 minutes or so, because like you are even proper speedrun strats are still like more or less looping him with the jump commands and stuff, and that takes time. And that takes guard even. You need guard for that. So if you don't have guard, you can't do Zaldin fight properly, or Zaldin data properly. Like, you need something to block him in order to get jump commands. So you need block or reflect.
Which I would think that it would have that factored in.
Yeah.
But yeah. I might come in and eventually change something with up at the top.
Yeah.
Actually, that might be what I could do with it. Where it's got the name up there, I could maybe have it set up to say like how many checks are left.
That would work.
Then you could click through and just see how many's in each area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, granted, more than likely you're going to check everything on your way through just so you don't have to make a second pass.
Mm-hmm.
But I can see your point too, just have something in case.
Yeah, but, just to be like, hey, have I done everything here? Yeah, okay, good.
But yeah, it's obviously far from done. Most of the kingdoms aren't finished, but God, that's a lot of typing.
Yeah.
There is a crap ton of checks in this game. Although, now that you mention that, I wonder if I could set up some kind of data panel like the Wind Waker tracker has. That tells you how many checks are left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll have to look into that because I kind of want to know now.
Yeah, I guess that's in the future for us for co-op.
Yeah, I'm thinking worst case if we get to the point where we're done with Phantom Hourglass and it's early from where it's supposed to be, we might try that out. But yeah, it's definitely a lot more enjoyable, I've got to say, than some of the parts going through casually were. And I feel like it's possibly because of the fact of, you can crank experience up to 5 times on everything. And you can find some really... You can actually find the movement tech instead of just having to level into it.
Mm-hmm.
I can see that being a thing to bring more life into KH2 in all seriousness.
Yeah. I also wish that, again, I watched Bloody Biz's video recently talking about like the flaws of KH2. I kind of wish someone would mod KH2 to like fix some of those issues. Like make Vexen less bullshit. Or Data Vexen less bullshit. Make Zaldin less of a chore of the fight and stuff like that. But those would be fairly expensive after a while.
Now, I don't think they went that far with it, but if I'm not mistaken, I think there is some quality of life changes to it.
Yeah, I know for like Final Zemnis, when you're fighting him, they skip you through the Star Fox segment.
Oh, you can still do it. That's just default turned off when you're setting up a seed.
Oh, fucking good. Yeah, because that's like fun.
And I'm like, yep, I'm fine with not doing that.
Yeah, that's 5 minutes of just sitting around shooting stuff and just smacking it with a keyblade and kind of floaty controls. It's just no. Like taking out segments like that, I'm like, yes, please. These are segments I don't want to play again.
I'm going to see if I can find the list. Because I think it did specify somewhere, but I can't remember where right offhand.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not sure what else like quality of life they've done. Do they auto skip cutscenes, or do you still have to skip cutscenes?
You still gotta skip them.
Okay, that's fine. That's whatever.
Oh yeah, one of the things, day 5 of
Yeah.
Roxas.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just done.
Oh, good.
You go there, you get the chest, you leave.
Good. Fucking good.
It's like, I love that.
Make Roxas World as short as possible. Hell, can we get a setting that just takes out Roxas World as an option and just starts you as Sora?
That would be good for base game. Randomizer, it would kind of suck.
Well, you just take whatever items you got as Roxas, and there you go. There's a bunch of starter items.
Except for that also nerfs your chest.
Fair. I don't know. Put them as rewards in for different boss fights or something. Just redistribute them somewhere else for all I fucking care. Eliminating Roxas World entirely is probably a really good option.
Agreed. Completely agreed.
And just redistribute those to other random chests or fights or stuff.
Oh yeah. You don't have to go to the 100-acre wood in the middle of Hollow Bastion.
Good.
Basically, all of Tron World that persists in, I think it's the second visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Tron World's its own thing, you don't have to do that.
You just go do Tron and you're done.
You just go to the room, come back out kind of deal. And it lets you proceed. And there's certain things that it's like, yes, please. Also,
good.
That was the document that had them. It's like end of page 5 on kind of deal.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. It's like, okay. This is honestly some pretty decent stuff that really seemed like it was dragging in the game. Not gonna lie. Oh, I didn't realize they did that. That too. For the Oogie Boogie fight. He only has to be knocked down once to kill him.
Oh, thank God.
I didn't realize they did that. I just thought I was that over-leveled.
Oh, good.
But yeah, there's a lot of good with that, and it's like, maybe they'll do more?
Holy shit, they take out the time segment where you have to protect Meg. Good. Fucking just whip Pete's ass and you're done. Oh, and you get both items for beating Terra once. Instead of having to beat him twice to get both items.
And that's the same with all the data fights. If you find the absent silhouettes, then you get both rewards from that. As opposed to having to do one and then again.
Wait, is Final Form still a random drop? When you drop in the form changes?
I don't know if it is with everything else. Because, two become one obviously kind of forces its hand anyhow. But I know it's its own thing now.
Well, the Keyblades have random abilities too. So that 2 become 1 ability can just be on something else. Or even a toggle in your abilities outright. I know you can randomize Keyblade abilities, so 2 become 1 could not have the ability.
Oh yeah. And I've been leaving it on that. So you're right, actually. But I know Final Form is its own thing. in there.
Okay, good.
I don't know if it's still potential to drop in with others, because I do know that anti-form still is a thing. I kind of found that out again.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
But yeah. It definitely is interesting.
I am incredibly willing to do this for co-op. This sounds more fun than Phantom Hourglass right now.
Yeah, it kind of does.
It is. And that game sucks.
It's one of those I almost feel like maybe we need to walk away from it before we get completely annoyed by it.
2 streams and we're already done. That's a record.
I mean, yeah.
But is that it?
But yeah, that's it for mine.
Alright, so that takes us to tomorrow, where we're doing Heisei Generations Forever. Who's ready to hear me bitch about continuity for like 20 minutes? Because that is the most interesting, probably the most interesting thing I have to say about this movie is its bullshit continuity. Because I got nothing else for this movie. Because the only other thing is for me to gripe and moan about how this is not a Kuga double tribute, it's a Den-O tribute. And how it's a really good Den-O tribute. More or less everything I've said ever about this movie already. I don't think I have anything new to say. Probably. I'll find out once I just do the notes and just be like, wait a minute, I didn't think about this before. Because I double checked its Kuga continuity. And there's problems there.
Oh boy. Like,
granted, well, you know how the Another Ride watches work?
Yeah.
Where they get rid of the bad guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we should have some villains show up before Tid takes Kuga's power with the Another Ride watch, but that apparently decides to not happen.
Huh.
Also, wrong day.
Sounds about right, actually.
Yeah, here's the thing. The day they keep saying that like Kuga's birth is technically wrong. Kuga doesn't transform until the next day. Godai doesn't even get to the ruins until the next day. Because the timestamp they have and the date stamp they have, which I assume the date stamp is the same as the date of the episode. I don't have a way of confirming that at the moment. Godai doesn't get to the ruins until the next day. The next morning when the cops are already there investigating, and that's when they pull the Arkle out of the coffin. And that's when Godai first sees it. And he doesn't put it on until the police station later when the Grongi attacks and he puts it on and becomes growing form. But even then, Kuga himself in his mighty form doesn't debut until the following episode. Which is, in fact, either 1 to 2 days later. So, technically, no, this is not the date of Kuga's birth. This is the day before. Which doesn't matter in the long run of things, but your wording is wrong. Again, folks, this is what you have to look forward to tomorrow. is me ranting about its continuity problems for 20 minutes and pointing out how it's wrong in every conceivable way.
I mean, to be fair, yeah.
Because like I said before, this movie falls apart at two questions about its very basic plot. And the second one I didn't even think about until this rewatch. Because you know the first one. Where the fuck did Futaros come from and how the fuck did he get here?
Mm-hmm.
The other one is, okay, we know the kid's a singularity point, right?
Supposed to be, yes.
So that means he's unaffected by all the time travel shenanigans, meaning whatever he remembers as the real world, that's the real world, right?
Supposed to be, yes.
He remembers the real world as writers being fiction. So, how does that work?
I don't know.
Yeah, fantastic question, isn't it?
Yep.
And again, the kid is a singularity point, meaning whatever he remembers and he knows to be the future, knows to be the timeline, that's the timeline. He knows the timeline as fictional writers. So, what the fuck? How does that change anything? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two questions, and this movie's plot has fallen into shambles. Thanks, Dino Logic. I love your time travel logic. And how they fucked it up. Anyway. That's tomorrow, and this next week it's Halo 3 Wednesday, Last of Going Commando, start of Up Your Arsenal Thursday, Phantom Hourglass Friday, Rampant Gaming of some variety Saturday, and then we're back around to more Ichigo next Sunday.
Yep.
But between now and
what we're gonna do on Rampant Gaming,
I don't know. But between now and then, if you like what you see, drop a follow. We appreciate it. Chipping away at that Philly. Go at JC Saloon on Twitter. Gets you updates as soon as we go live. Next Bitch Point Discord and chat. Gets you Discord link. Drop by. Say hi. We'll see you next time, folks.